Okay. Hopefully we're looking good. Okay. So let me do what I must do. Click a lot of buttons and try not to get too freaked out. Okay. I think that's going. It says I'm orange live. So it's not super healthy, but it should do. Yeah, for any reason, if it's looking bad, let me know with the stream quality. For some reason, it's not totally green. It's a little bit off-putting. Okay, just about there. Okay, I think I did everything, so that's all looking good. Hi guys. Hi Star. Hi Cookie. How you doing? I'm doing great. Trying to get back into swing of this, which is weird because it was only like a couple of days ago. So, at Ashy Pie, how you guys doing? Did I actually do anything this weekend? I don't think so. Yeah, I actually can't remember what I did yesterday. So, oh well. Hello, legit. How you doing? Hi guys. Yeah, I'm actually at a loss. I don't know what I was gonna say. I think I was just too wrapped up at my own work that it's like, oh, I have so much stuff to do that it's like, don't have time to do anything else. But I got some good progress on the video that I'm working on. Like my cup. You'll be seeing it a little bit more often. Hi, kitty. Getting back into. Ooh, think I'll be able to stick around. Ah, great. Well, this isn't gonna be super interesting to watch though. So, oh well. That's good to hear. That sounds great. So mostly what we're gonna do is mostly just taking this comic that we made, and trying to make it look better, basically. So last week we worked on this where I can make it a little bigger. We just chose some, so it starts here and then goes to here. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. So that's the story. You'll be able to figure it out later. Let's figure it out. Okay. So at least for now we can kind of start working on it. Maybe we can do that. I kind of going back and forth of whatever I want it to be, like a true motion comic, which I kind of did a little bit of research right before this, for about 10 minutes of just looking at other motion comics. They seem to have some things in common, like they would be like a full screen and then a video, and then they would cut out the pieces and then just do a bunch of like parallax scenes and different slow camera moves and stuff, like moving or like swap between poses and stuff like that. So obviously this is gonna be more of a comic that if we have the time and energy to actually animate it in a way. So I'm trying to plan out like what would be the best way, but I think it'd probably just be to just kind of go ahead with this and then have each panel in a small way be a small window, and then you'll be able to see everything else, and then each of them would just animate. And it might just be on a normal video timeline, because the other way we'd make this into a swath. I actually don't know what its acronym is, but it's a Flash file where you can add action script, which is a bunch of coding. So I can like figure out, like, open this dialogue and then add a bunch of different codes and stuff, and then it'll know what that means, which I don't. So I usually try to find little code snippets and then action script, and then say, oh, if you you know, click on any of this if you have movie clips on your timeline, then you can say like, when you click on a movie clip, then do an event, and those will be one of the events. So it'll be like one of these, and you just double click, I think. Oh yeah, it needs an actual thing to do it first, but yeah. So it'll like find out the ouching script for here and then put it in, so I don't have to write it out. And then you just be able to do that over and over for as many things you got. That could be like a play button or like a move to next panel button. Like you can imagine like different forwards and backwards buttons, and you would like click on it, and then it would go to the next one. So everything, one square would just be moving, but everything else outside it might be still, and then you click the button, and then it would shift perspective onto the next one, and then something like that. So we can use crazy stuff like that until next year, because you know what, Flash Player is not going to be available for all devices, I believe. So all this fun little crazy stuff that you can do in Flash is not going to be exportable. That's a huge bummer that we're losing a lot of functionality if it is true that I hear a lot of different reports, because it's like I want to use Flash in terms of Flash Player, so it gets really confusing of what exactly they meant, or like, because they said like they won't be updating Flash, but then does that just mean like they won't be having Flash Player updates anymore, and then eventually it won't be supported, or is it just like immediately? Okay. It's the security issues, but a lot of people don't, put malicious, stuff in there. Like, I don't put viruses in my stuff, so it's like, eh. See you, Dashy. Right into that Flash is go to every time I open Flash. Makes me sad. Yeah, actually, when I do open Chrome, it says that. It's like, hey, just a warning. Like it says at the top, like, Flash is gonna go away in December 19. Doing that Flash Player on any VM devices. Firefox does use it. Firefox got like totally get rid of it. Like you can't even like, if you go to like one of the pages, like Newgrounds or DeviantArt where they have swaps, are you able to like? Does it say like you have to install it and then you try to click it and then you can't install it? Something like that. Oh yeah, there's tons of Flash games. Like I tried to make a couple games. It didn't really work because I couldn't really figure out how to code. So you can get it if you search for it, but it's not detailed. Yeah, that's probably better. It might be a better solution actually if it's just not primary like that, where you have to search for it and then you can get it. That'll probably help a lot. It was just Macromedia was such a good company that Adobe was like the worst possible like takeover and buy-in, because Adobe wanted to add a bunch of the extra features and compatibility with the other, like Photoshop and stuff, like the other ones, where it was like, hey, can you also make Flash also work with other stuff and make it interactable and other stuff, and it'll be real cool. It's like really didn't need action script in an animation program, so I never really got that. It's like, why? Like, I'm gonna make a cartoon, let me also make sure that it can also make a video game out of the same thing. That's why Toon Boom is actually doing better in more industries like Disney and probably like Fox and Nickelodeon, like Toon Boom, is because it's made for animation instead of like, oh yeah, you can also code a whole thing inside of here, this little box, and then say, hey, can you also do this for me? And it'd be like, what? Why would I ever want to do that though? And I try to show you like just how many crazy stuff I can click on it. You try to make a, there we go. because they added all these crazy stuff. It's like these are just the code snippets that if you click on any of these, then it'll, you know, generate a random number, bring object to front. So if you click a movie clip, but then if clicked, the state is on, then do any of these. So there's a whole bunch of fun stuff you can do. Move with arrow keys and stuff. Load, unload. So you can code like whole video games where like you can have different files and swaths and then say some fancy code to say, hey, when this happens in a battle, you know, load in monster from file A and bring it into file B and then animate it. So I was like, whoa, you know, all this stuff is crazy, but it's like if Flash was smart enough to just say, hey, let's make 2 things, then all this would have been null. Because then Flash wouldn't get the blame for it, because Flash just has so much in it. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot. A lot of fun in Flash games. There still are. You can find those those random like very ads and not super PC ones, I guess. But yeah, able to take all these different stuff, and if Adobe was smart enough to separate it into an art program, here's an art studio thing where you can make animations, and then develop that to be the next Toon Boom if they wanted. But instead, they said, hey, can you make WebGL and like add sprite sheets into here? Can you like make sure that develops and like keep updating with that as you go every year? And it's like, but I don't know, you know, there's so many other animation tools that aren't in here. So it's like really awkward to like use it some of the time. It's like, oh, I don't have that tool whereas Toon Boom would have it. So it's like, why? And it's like, oh, well, Flash Player is dead. So it's like, why should we care? So it's like, but it doesn't, you know, change the fact that it's a software that also does art. So I hope that just by having Flash Player gone, then that couldn't. It's either going to be the rise or fall of Flash, and I'm not sure. Because if we just like closed the book on Flash Player, which had like maybe like, I don't know, I doubt there was 1 million people who used it for malicious stuff. I'm thinking it's only like a couple accounts that would have done something bad like that to like the 1 million other people who made something, you know, like animations like me, and people who were like, yeah, I'm gonna do art with it and it's gonna be great. So hopefully with that out of the way, then that'll be out of the general, you know, mind. I don't know what you call it, like the everyone's mind will then not think about it as being, oh, it's that software that has that. It'd be like, oh, it's the software that can do all the cool, something easy to learn things, you know. Where'd my lines go? Come on, regular. There we go. So, yeah. There's tons of people who made Flash cartoons, and they were great. I think like just because I'm subscribed to Jazza, I was gonna say Java Jazza. It's not Java Jazza anymore. Made sure we knew about that. He started with Flash and Newgrounds, so it's like, yeah, it's a very good starting tool to learning animation. Just because it's so it streamlines everything, and there's a lot of like keyboard stuff instead of, because I feel like Toon Boom just has a lot more UI stuff. Like it's very, I don't know what color I want. Just any color. Okay, so that doesn't work. Toon Boom has, I never really used it much, but I feel like it's gonna have a lot of just very complicated. The user experience is very complicated, so you're not really be able to Not sure why it's thinking it's. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so they're all different. Good. Yeah, I'll have to try Toon Boom to see if it is a little bit easier. Like if it is easier to use or not. I wouldn't want to get it just because, oh, it can do this extra feature, which Flash doesn't have. I wouldn't want to get it for that. It'd be, if it could streamline enough of the tedium stuff, like in Flash. I don't know why I got my juice. Then that'll be nice. Because I feel like it's a different way of thinking. It's like between like Apple or Windows, it'd be like thinking like that, where they both kind of do the same thing, but it's just like, how do you want to go about it? Do you want to, like, you know, draw in a certain way, you know, with using a line tool and going, okay, that's what I want, or doing it like this, it'd be like, oh, that's not what I wanted to happen. You know, be like, oh, what to expect when you draw. Letter little bits. So, yeah, little bits like that. So I got that box. Got the box that's good. I got back to my original one. What did I? Because this is the original one that I kind of was playing around with. So I kind of had these different borders where they weren't like, see, like there's space between. There's this line here. So I wonder if I should include that or not, because it seemed to be inconsistent as I went along. So it'd probably just be easier to just make it like that. So I could have a background color. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Yeah. When I was in college, I had to do a. We had to choose some different. We had to be in groups and then choose a different software or a different web thing. One of them was Flash, so I guess they kept it around, kept that project around for a while. I was like, yeah. So naturally, I was in the Flash team, and I think the consensus was that I was the only one who actually knew had it, like I was the most proficient in it. So I was like, okay. It was like me and 3 other guys, and it's like, okay, let's do, you know, we got to do our like oral report demonstration thing. I think the other teams were like, I think I can't actually remember. So yeah, so our team was like, okay, we're just gonna talk a little bit of the history and say like why Flash is cool, that it's like you can do all this different stuff with it, that it's more than just art or animation. It's apparently you can make websites as well. That also lended itself to getting into hot water, and I was like, ooh, do I really want to have everything in a website be Flash? So you can imagine something like this and just like, oh, just put in some text and stuff, and everything inside it would be like a movie clip, and then you would click on it, and then using the ActionScript tools you can say what happens next, and it'd be like, ooh. So yeah, full Flash websites. I don't think I came across too many of them, or maybe they just blended in so much that you couldn't really tell. But yeah, so I was like, okay, so what can Flash do? Animate, drawing, gaming, and also making a website. No wonder you have problems, you know, with security and whatnot. And it's like, oh yeah, because we're allowing it to do, you know, make a whole website out of it. There's got to be some, you know, not really compatibility with like security issues with that, where you're allowing a software that can inject any kind of code into it to make a to make a whole website out of. It wasn't too bad. Yeah. Over animated flashlights that didn't even do anything. Yeah. Okay, don't even get me started like those. Had those. Ooh. All those stock art ones where it's like, oh yeah, like those little icons you would get on your taskbar and stuff, or like your mouse clickers would have different icons. So instead of like a little arrow, it would be Santa Claus and stuff. So like those kind of stock art stuff where it's like, don't really like that. Free hosting service? Maybe. I don't quite remember that. Free smileys. Yeah, you get a whole pack of them. It's okay. I think we're good. So now we can figure this out. Now I'm not quite explaining what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing either. So forgive me for that. So okay. I think I'm gonna have to make this. Okay. Hang on. So I need this to just be the outlines. So like this. So it has outlines on that. But then in this one, I need to make this panel 1. And then, now we got these. So now we can separate them a little bit. Clip art, that's also what I was thinking of. Looks like a tennis field. Yeah, the clip art gifs. Okay. So I just need to make a whole bunch of layers as well. Fill them in. So I need to make each of these different boxes a different layer. So I'll just go through that. So I'm cutting and then pasting it onto a new layer. And then put that back. Okay. So now we got, get rid of that. You see we got different color outlines. Okay. I can just see one of them. So I got one box. So this is panel 1. So get her back there. Okay. So this will be the mask. But now Flash doesn't like it if you just call something a mask. So you had to call it something else. I literally just renamed this layer to mask, and it doesn't like it. So I have to call it something else, like, I don't know, 1 mask, because I still want it to be mask, but it doesn't like that either. Let's go 1. Let's go 1 works. Okay. So each of these boxes now would need to have more layers inside it. So let's see. Let's get rid of that. That's what do we need in here. Okay. Hello. Hi, Papyrus. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta go into my other file. Get my good Derpy. Let me see. Is this the one where I have the extra, the head? Yeah. So that's not possible usually. Okay. So I'll take her. Place her in here. There we go. 30. So now she'll live inside of the box. So there we go. That's because she's not inside the box. Did I make it oh, I made it a guide instead. You guys didn't tell me. There we go. Hello. Okay. So now we can see that her leg should be on top of this screen here, but it's being clipped because of the green box. So that means I need to make another layer with the background that I need. So I give background. Let me find the mailroom background. So I'm taking it from my my old video from July. That wasn't it. Let's see. Let me go back here. Derpy surf. There we go. Copied it from like hours ago when I had a different file. That was really wacky. Okay. So make this big enough, and then it's not clipping because it's not actually clipping. There we go. So now we got one panel-ish, got all the assets in. That's good. So now we just got to do it for every other panel, and then for the 3 pages. And then we just got to pose them all together. And there we go. Yeah. So we just gotta put her in. Get this big, just make it kind of look okay. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Because awfully, it's like having smaller windows into like a whole thing. Like this could have been, this square could have been like a whole screen, but now I'm just having it be one tiny square inside and then having a bunch of them. So it had to be more clear at a smaller scale. So I was like, okay, how do I show that, you know, that we're at the mailroom? We'll be seeing it smaller later. So that include there's enough in here to see. Problem is that the background is one layer. So we'll have to go inside the background and then add. Oh, this is from the actual video. So let's get rid of this. Don't need that. Then we can place her back into here. So now she's inside of there. Get her the same scale. Okay. So once we get this, then we can actually reuse this a couple times. So don't worry. Oh, now she's behind this. Let's get her enough behind. Get her behind the table enough. Oh, okay. Just gotta move this behind. There we go. Okay. How do you make such amazing animations? Make animations with time and effort and skill. A lot of time. Oof. Okay. Let's get rid of her off the main timeline-ish. There we go. Okay. So that'll be one layout, and then we just gotta copy that and do it all over again. So, what was this about? Yeah. So right now we're just trying to make a comic, and then hopefully, once it's laid out and everything, then we can have it animated. But that'll be one panel, so that's good. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, what's this? I didn't read everything. I was like, what's the 90? Okay. So now, get rid of this layer. Set up one panel so I can hide this, and then we got that. So, okay. Get rid of this. Go back up here. Okay. So now we got the other bits. Whew. But how are we doing? I know this is super engaging. I just needed that time to figure everything out, and getting this stuff into here is really tricky. So my oh, it just changed. My video output was really low. Now it's up. That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. It says that's that one. That's that one. This one? There we go. I don't know how that happened. Was that on the whole time? Or was that just there for a little bit? Had the other social things, my older versions of my social things up at the top. Okay. Hi guys. Alright, Derpy Hooves Adventures. That's a cool name. I like the adventures. Yeah, the job was a little bit one-sided. Just me talking. See, there's yeah. Actually, episode 15. Oh, like the show? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. You know yourself. You're having fun conversations. This is great. I need the next bit. Let's have just reverse of the letter. So we'll go here and then make this the mask, but not mask that bit. I need to do this. Okay. Yeah. I know I wasn't actually paying attention to chat like at all for like 10 minutes. So, sorry about that. Let's see. So, actually, it's fairly tricky. So on here, I need the letter to be shown. So let's get just a rough square there, somewhat in perspective, and then that. Just have to color it. So it's gonna be for one of the characters is gonna need it, so probably want to figure that out too. If I run out of time, I probably want to figure out who this letter should be. That'll be fun. Should we do that first? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just spend time reading whatever you guys talk about, which is great. Okay. So I will need 2 incidental characters. Not exactly the address, just who the characters should be. So we're gonna have this character is gonna receive the letter, which happens to be Bill, and then this pony gets upset. So I'll need a pony for this. Hopefully one that I have and one that's easy. And preferably just a pony. And then we'll have another character that's just this one, and then this character will open the door, and that's how the paper airplane will get out. So, okay. Let's probably figure out like which of these will be which. So for the 2 of them, I'll let you guys decide, because I know that's probably more interesting than whatever I was doing for a while. Oh, address C. Ah, okay, yes. Didn't quite read that. This is out of that. Colgate, thank you. Filthy rich. That might be funny. Okay. Favorite pony. Big Mac getting Bill from the farm. Well, I guess I could just show that I kind of got had a lot of fillies for the surfing one. This is no C of a Patreon. so I had to include that in that. I got the cools and sofa guy, and then her. But I think I got a lot of other characters. So keeping it kind of pretty close to home with stuff. Okay, Colgate's good. Should we get another one? That will work. I'm trying to find a list of the other ones, so that'll be probably just easier to guess too. Let's see. 20. This is kind of tricky to find. There's not really the ones I have are all very interesting. There's not really much to read here. I guess I made a Lyra at some point. Can Rosalek? Rosa's good. Apparently we had a Sora at one point, like the Kingdom Hearts one. Okay. I guess I can recolor any of them too. But it'd probably be better if it's maybe some established character. And that was really hard to read. You probably have to be in full screen even then. Game show host. You have Carrot Top. Jeff. Jeff would always be like my tertiary character. So it'd be like Derpy, Colgate, and then Jeff. Talking about that. Okay. Making sure. It's about to say like same and yeah, it's like what are you talking about? So camera operators. I had some Halloween ones. Daisy. I think Daisy's like one of the flower ponies. Liz Joff. Oh no, I have a Jeff. Like a Jeff. Jeff was the waiter that I nicknamed. He's like a French waiter. See if there's any more other weird ones at the end there. I have the mayor apparently. Nurse. Let's see. It's better like other ones that they would just be incidental or like too pop culture-y that it's like when would I ever use them again. Let's see. Having the mayor. The mayor would gets the bill. You see Megan Meanin. Never know how to say it. Mayor sounds good. Okay. Okay. Let's put it over there for no reason. Ugh. This doesn't look too crisp. Let me get some backgrounds I can see. Oof. Okay, that's if I'm gonna use her, I have to clean her up a little bit. It's like, oh, these colors aren't doing it for me. You just saturate it. Maybe darken it a little bit. Place all. Okay. Yeah, it's whatever this is, it doesn't bother me. Okay, so mayor is either gonna open the door or receive the bill letter. Which one should it be? Could go either way. There's more probably gonna be the latter. And you wanted Megumin receive the bill. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Just want to make sure you get some input on this. Even though it makes no sense. That's true though. That's somehow we can change the bill itself somehow. that it could fit more with their character. If we like super want the mirror, we could do that. Otherwise, we could just find another character, like another Ponyville town pony, and then work with that. I'm opening that. Open my thingy again. Wanted to. I got Jeff. Let me open that one. Let's not edit the story. Okay. And here's the French waiter that I nicknamed Jeff. Why did I call him Jeff? I don't remember. But it just stuck with me. That was like, this guy, this French waiter man, he's a Jeff. I just love how like super snooty. That is just like Derpy would do something crazy and like antics, and then it'd be like Jeff would be like the straight man, just going, what are you doing? So for him to receive a bill, could be funny to see a waiter receive a bill. I'm not sure. Because otherwise it could just be a regular one. I can try and open the Mega Moomin. Is that the references? Yeah, I got this one. So in terms of not making any sense at all, we could have her. Still a little bit rough. I'm just looking at the actual points and stuff, and it's like, I would draw it a little bit better. But irony and Jeff, maybe? Yeah, this is totally off, but someone wanted to see it. So, here you go. See it in high quality now. There you go. Because in the videos, it's like this small. So, there you go. Didn't make sense. You were just noticing. Okay. That's fair. Let's get rid of her. So we're back to... Still got Colgate somewhere. Or Minuet. One of them. Just Colgate. See, the ones that I use more often, I have different views of them. Like I would use them in multiple projects and go, oh look, I need a different view, like a front angle. That's my reading voice. Use Carrot Top to foil. Go and harvest Carrot Top. Okay. I think I called her Carrot Top. I'm looking it up. I also have Carrot Recolor, so there's also that. This one. This is a classic pony. Man. Go and harvest. Yeah, they always have like different like toy names and stuff. Like the blind bags would have different names for them and stuff. I just come up with like one of them and didn't really think of the other one. So her thing is that she likes carrots, I guess. So, to receive a bill, it's not funny. I guess. Could be. Can't really see her. That's not helping either. Okay. Would this be good? Because we can find maybe another one. I think we're pretty good. I'm not sure. What do we think? So probably we'll most probably use Colgate just because I like the colors, so that's always a good sign. Yeah, he kind of suggested it, so it's good too. I think it's official name for something. Fan names a lot. Fan names a lot of. What did Fluttershy's mom not have a canon name? Posey. Oh yeah. Well, Posey. Yeah, Posey was a Gen 1 Fluttershy. Yeah. Okay. In theory, we could use all of these for like background characters, but I don't think there's enough room. Like we could somehow put like one here, I guess, just for fun. Maybe. Was Carrot Top, Golden Harvest, one of them fine enough to be okay? I just want to make sure. You only need to vote, just say like yes or no at this point. What even are these other bits? Oh, when I was making it. Okay. Thought I had some secret things in there. Yeah, because the other bits would be the other ones where we got Mare, Jeff, Colgate herself could get it. My plan was to have Colgate open a door at the beginning. And then we could have Carrot Top, Golden Harvest, one of them. And Colgate, Minuet, Jeff, and Waiter. Those could all work. Okay. There's not much feedback, then we'll do that. Go with what I'm thinking. Yeah, exactly. Colgate open the door, and then Carrot Top open the bill. I think we're good with that. Okay. So I'll just have to place her in. Just put her in file. Put both of them in, and then I can delete them as they'll be inside of here. And then I can just find the one where it's full, like this, and then drag them out, and then they're good. So don't worry that they're gone; they're still in the library. Okay, so still a lot more panels, but now we know what we're going to be doing for 7 and 8, and then 13-ish, and then all the way through there. So okay, so now it's just the more fun part of laying these scenes out and then drawing them out, and all that. So might be able to finish a couple of them in time we have left. Usually we go for an hour, because by then I get really hungry. So now letter can be maybe a color that matches, because there'd be no other hint the other way to know. So it could be orange, maybe, like a nice same color. Alpha is set to 0%. Let's get it back up. There we go. Okay, so and this could be this, but like, and then or it could just be this and then saturate it up, and then get rid of all that, and then set it up, and then bop. So now it's laying upside down like that. Okay. So Derpy's not moving because we haven't laid her out yet. But okay. So get rid of that. And now we should be just be looking at this box where we still need the letter again and then a table. Like that. Let's go. Get him, Bookie. Oops, that's not bad. Okay. Looks like that's like that. Okay, so we'll just need the color of that to be here, and then it could just be like a darker color, just to say like, oh, it goes down a bit. This kind of style lends itself nicely that you're able to just kind of, you know, just draft things real quick, and it's like, oh, look, it's done. Like, that's my background. Let's see. Hey, thanks YouTube for giving me notification saying I'm live. Always appreciate that. Okay. Let's try a letter. That. Appreciate it. Be around there. Okay. Hi, Tord. How you doing? I am working on a comic, I suppose. And it's getting there. I have a lot of layers. This is confusing for me. Let's get these inside of the mask like that. Get rid of that. And okay. So Derpy's going to be looking bored here. And then we got the close-up of the letter. Letter in the first panel could be moved. So it's just me being continuity conscious. So maybe more over here, I guess. That changes the somewhat of the angle itself is not wrong, so whatever. Anyway, okay. My keyboard has rainbow lights on it, so I'm getting really tripped out by it. I guess just turn it off. There. Whoa, okay. I set it to rainbow disco mode and I got really confused. Okay. So that's two laid out. Keyboard is, well, it came with my my computer, so my computer, my keyboard are the same. I buy power. It's got a lion logo on it. I think it just came with it. Or it's like, oh, you want a keyboard with that? It's like, okay. So got a keyboard. So good for next bit. Go to here and say, make a mask, please. Make a mask. Okay. And then paste it. And then make that. And then like that. Okay. So now we're back here. So now I need to know what I need to do. It's going to be zoomed in a little bit because now we know where we are a little bit in space. So something like that. So now we got to focus more on the letter, and then she's been looking at it. Just like that. Okay. So now she'll be like looking at it more. And then next bit, we'll have her same thing, but now in the next position. Okay, so that's that. Then this should be that one. Good. So let's make another mask. Put the same picture there. Okay. Basically just hopefully have it at the same height as the other one. Like that. And then maybe a little bit lower to say like she's got it now. So now she's playing with it. She is now folding it. She's folding it in this one. Okay. And then the next bit is just the paper airplane. So now let's get rid of that. Didn't think that this would take a bit. Because I've just, you know. Oh, I have plans for like other ways of doing these boards and comics where it's like, oh, let's do like a real motion comic where like this will be like the source comic, but I want to have it where it's more full screen and then things are just sliding across, so not to animate as much. That was the main goal, was just to have something where it takes less effort to make, but still like a lot. To make it seem like, oh wow, you worked a long time on that, and go, so actually I wanted a square. So that was just the main goal of this, was to have some sort of outlet where it'd be like, okay, if I don't want to animate too much, then I can just do a motion comic instead. So now I'm turning into, wow, this is still a lot of work. So this isn't exactly doing as well as I thought. So in this, just to get this going, to get it all through, probably just lay out everything that we have and then add the assets. So this should be the next bit there. Try my best to speed run it, so just we'll have something at the end here, but it's still a lot. Okay, I should have got what's going on in here. She's throwing the plane. Let's make this a little bit smaller, so we have a room to see what's going on. So like that. Always gotta make sure that this is all working. This is like a weird art piece now. Okay. Get rid of that. Now we have this panel. I decided to make this into 2 parts. I can show what we got, so you don't have to think too hard about it. So I was gonna split this up into 2 parts where it'll animate of her having the plane and then throwing it, and then it kind of goes whoopity whoop, and then somewhere around here the panel will stop, and then it'll cut in close to the door, and then the plane will go out, and then Derpy would fly out with it, and then this plane would go whoa. So the other thing would be if it could just be the long shot and then it'd be like 10 seconds worth, but then I'm thinking about it like it's animation. It's the hard part. It's like, well, if it's a full cartoon, then you know, you would just have 2 shots of it, or you can just zoom into it and don't have to think about it. Like, the comics are just so complicated and not complicated that it's like it has its own meta-ness that is like, I don't know how to do this goodly, you know. It's like, oh, the way that stage these things is because I'm like doing it as an animated comic that makes it more complicated. Like, I could just make this into a normal comic, but then I would need more panels to show like that there is motion to things. So otherwise it'll get somewhat confusing. Because like the airplane could just be a picture and then that'll be it. And it'll be like, oh, just have some lines and say like that's where it's going. Like with these 2. But I think it'd be more fun if it was moving, so that has its own weird challenges. It's like, no, now how do I show that that is what's happening? Make it tall enough so that she's there. I need to make the roof bigger and just go back here and then say, oh, look. All these need to be... Nope, that didn't work. Have to figure that out. later. Next. I will end once I get the last panel here. Thank you guys. That'll just be copying the same picture I got. But okay. No spoilers. No. Every time that I each stream now, there's no spoilers tag up there is actually getting bigger. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's getting like slightly bigger each time. So yeah. I will say that I've caught up to the US Family Discovery channel broadcasting. So I've caught up to the one where, oh boy, I have to think about what it was. Fluttershy and Angel Bunny. So I caught up to that one, so I guess we can say that is I'm gonna be the neutral neutral guy who's gonna be able to talk about stuff that already happened as spoilers. So as much as I'll be able to talk about. I am trying not to be spoiled, but leave it to YouTube. I did get spoiled quite frequently by thumbnails, so even in my attempt to not, I have been spoiled of the finale. So I know some plot things, so yeah, so that's pretty unfortunate. So it's not like I'm trying to search for that stuff either, so it's just even more annoying. That it's like, oh man. Well, this kind of worked. Wow. No, but there's two doors. Okay. What happened here? It's because this isn't part of that. There we go. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that it's, you know, like by an attempt to not be, I've already been, so yeah, just a little bit annoying for that. There's gonna be something special in this one, so that'll be a little bit more work. Oh boy. Oh, what was I saying now? It's not about even nobody was saying it. Finale is openly open. Yeah. So I'm just gonna be going by, hey, what did you think of that Fluttershy one? Instead of, hey, what do you think about finale? Talk about stuff like that. Oops. Okay. So there we go. We spent an hour just making this layout. You know, it's some weird avant-garde art piece so far. This is the bulk of it. Actually, of trying to get the layout for it. All these will be different. We'll animate it, I guess, or I can probably just get the first poses for everything. Probably get through everything, then do first poses, and then animate it. So this might actually take like several weeks, unless this isn't interesting. Hey Bradley. Unless this isn't interesting, like what I just did, just adding this. The other bits are kind of more interesting, just because they'll have like these different backgrounds and stuff, and adding the other bits. Would you like it or not if I just went ahead and just laid it out like what I just did with all this, and have all the characters, and just not having them, like having them be regular default poses and not having first poses? That might be good. Otherwise this will take another whole stream just for these next two pages, maybe. It's hard to tell. But now that you know that that's kind of how this will work, I'm willing to work on this my own, in my own time to figure out the other bits. I can get the Colgate here, and then the Carrot Top here. The only other bit would just be like getting this background, which I already have somewhere, like in this one. Just believe me that I got a background that looks like it. Just like get the ground here, then get the sky here, and then that'll be it. So it won't be much. Laying it out in between is a good idea. Yeah, I feel so. Because now this is somewhat foreign territory for me. That'd be like I was just bumbling through it the whole time instead of just just working on it. Spent some time on the figuring out who's who. That was a bit of a wild ride figuring that out. Now that we do, might be more interesting to see the posings and animations. We'll see if we get to that. But yeah, probably tomorrow or so I'll get all the layout done. If that is a good idea. Okay. Alrighty then. So good. So we got this. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have something a little bit more than this next time. So Thursday we'll have more than this, hopefully. I'll remind myself to do this. So don't worry about it. It'll be good. Probably should also figure out in some time too whether there should be like a layout or a timeline where it just keeps going, or I can figure out how to make the play and stop buttons work, or it can be interactive where it's like a game comic where you click a button and it goes to the next panel somehow. I'll have to figure that out. I feel like I'm more just leaning to just having it like timeout. So like each panel might be like 1 or 2 seconds where something happens and then the next panel will just start. I feel like that might work. The other way the other way where you click a button that might be more user friendly, because then if one of them, because the paper airplane makes it very linear as a time where you can't exactly throw it and then have it loop. I guess you could, but I would think about it like it's animation, like it has to go back to frame 1. It's like just kind of just pop them back and then it does something. Not always have to animate either. Some of them could just, I think I just had like one of them just be like a blink or something. So anyway, there I could just go to my happy place. Okay, so see ya. Whoop. Now we're good. Yeah. There's still a lot of little bits. So yeah. If we're gonna do another comic, I'm thinking of making it full screen and then just having it be more motion comic-y. It's weird because it's like, I know all the, full animation principles and stuff. That'd be like going back to like rudimentary is actually really hard. Like I had to say like, no, don't add secondary, hair movement. What are you doing? Squashing and stretching over like 10 frames worth and adding drag to everything. So I was like, I'll try not to. It's really hard. I'm trying to go back to it to like a simpler animation style of like, what if they just kind of just don't even have in between, like going from like one pose to another, like if Derpy has to like point or something, that she like had to, you know, anticipate having her hoof like kind of go whoop back into, like leaning back into her body, and then like going whoa, and then leaning out and over extreming it, and then going down. Like how much of that, and then having hair bounce, follow through and drag with secondary animation of like the tail moving too, and then having a little blink to plus a little bit. It's like how much more of that, you know, should there be? Is gonna be big for figuring all this out. So these guys were coming out and like giving good support. Because I know a lot of this was just me tinkering around and just making sure everything worked. But yeah. I always like underestimate like all of my stuff where it's like, oh, this should only take like, you know, I should have had the layout done in this stream, and then next stream we'll animate it and then be done. And it's like, nope. You gotta, you know, do everything that's happened. Where it's like, okay, we gotta figure everything out as we go along, and then stall for a bit. Where everything comes to a standstill, and then figure it out. Anyway, that's just me grieving about like just how you think this would be easy, but it's like, oh, just it keeps going with like, no, stop with all this hard work. Like, why can't this be easier? Just devoting the picking out the ponies was probably the hardest part there. So, and then we're not even close to the animation part. So, hopefully it will look cool. If it doesn't, we'll have to try another one. I wonder if we should do like after we finish this one, like immediately go into another comic, or do. I want to call it like filler, maybe for a bit, or just go back to animating like normally. Yeah, let me know what kind of. Okay, yeah, I'm always full of my thoughts of everything, because I like to, you know, rewind and go over everything that just happened. Like, I can't really let things go. It's like, oh, like it's always spinning around in my mind. So that's why I say things a lot, like over and over. It's because I keep like hearing myself saying everything. Like I have like a whole transcript of whatever I say. So it's like, okay, but did I actually say that? I don't know. Bye, legit. Let's see a pony reanimating project one day. Funny you say that. I was part of one. I worked on one shot. It was redoing the first episode. It was like 2 or 3 years or more ago, so there's still a lot of shots available. It's about maybe like 40% done. Last time I checked it like a couple weeks ago, so there's a lot to it. It's still a lot of shots not even claimed yet. So it's written that. So I think I liked it on my page, so I could probably find a link to it. This will be real quick, hopefully. Yeah, so I worked on it for like not too long. Actually working on it. So it's yeah. I think even was it at HawkCon this month? Well, this year I meant. I think so. It was definitely couple I'm trying to do this at the same time. Okay. So the person who's organized it is Juju. In YouTube is Juju2143. So it's the MLP fan remake animated announcement trailer. So that was, yep, 2 years ago. That's when he started it. So it's yeah, and he went to like HawkCon in 2017 and HawkCon in 2019. So there's still a lot of unclaimed stuff. What's this? Oh, that's Solidarity. Okay. Yeah, so it was a map of the full episode 1. So even if this is finished, it'd be like it ends on a cliffhanger. So we have to work on the second part too, but still not fully whatever you call it, where every part is claimed. Yeah, the whole thing is not claimed yet. So we'll have to maybe get the Solidarity guys to work on this. It is a shame, like I worked on it for like a little bit. I worked on one shot. I worked on the shot where it had Derpy the first time where she would have her eyes messed up. So as a layout glitch, they didn't know where she was going to be, so they had her eyes not aligned. Everybody has been going for a long. I doubt it's gonna go anywhere. It's too bad. I can also hopefully quickly find the spreadsheet for it. What would it be called? This one. Let's see. Just quickly go back to here. So okay, here is the appendix for the MLP remake. So this is by Juju, and I think some other people were working on it. So somewhere in here, I'm going to be in here, where so all the parts that are white are obviously not claimed by anyone. The assigned are green, and the done is red. So even the ones where they're claimed are not done or updated to be done. So, and we just go through here and go, whoa, there's a lot of shots, and whoops. No shade on this guy, but it's like, this is obviously 20 minutes worth of animation. It was like a couple years ago, and the announcement trailer didn't quite get enough steam as they thought of. So like every couple of years, he would do the HawkCon showing off. It's like, oh yeah, come join us, where we have a couple people working on it, and people who worked on it in the green means that they haven't finished yet. So, ooh, look at all these people who haven't finished it. All I'm thinking of, like all the people who worked on it. If it doesn't come out, then those results just show like they're, those YouTube videos for like maps where it's like individual artists would show like their work on it in time lapse. It's like, oh yeah, there's a lot. But here's me, Yoshi Greenwater, and it's red. So I finished mine. How long was it? I don't know how long the shot was. It was probably like 3 or 4 seconds long. So, yeah. It was so long ago that I was using my paper pony puppets where, they didn't have eyeballs. They just had like the black button eyes where, didn't have viruses and stuff. So even then, it's like, yeah, all this, and it keeps going, keeps going. It's like some people finish, and then that's the end. So I don't know what to make of that. So I'll leave it up to you guys. That it could have been great. Somehow Solidarity worked out, but I was part of that. That was a map. So anyway, I'll go back to Sosa World. I think my thing was lagging. But you got the gist that probably only like 10 or 20% actually finished of the people who claimed it. So yeah, I guess you can ask Juju if you want to join. There's plenty of room for you to join on that. So no, I got off on that, but I think it was sort of close to what you were saying. But yeah, if we somehow like reanimated like something, even something a little bit smaller, it could have been good. I've seen some of the other artists working on it, and like their shots are like amazing. So it's a real shame that we can't like put it together and like see it all put together. Because if that's accurate, then yeah, yeah. So hopefully, get back to me. That my comic is gonna be done. I'll make sure of it, and then I'll have the main channel video. Always call it that because I don't know what else to call them. I'll have oh, I looked up something else. What was I saying? I'll have the main channel video. Hopefully done. Well, hopefully done by before fall. So it'll get done, but I don't know if it'll finish before fall. Fall will be September 20th or so. So then I can say like, oh, I got another, summer video. Because like oh, I got like three or four summer videos, and haha, then I can have a couple fall videos. Oh yeah, we should probably wrap this up actually. I tried to, then I got distracted. So, well then I got distracted again. So, I will wrap this up. I will eventually work on laying out everything. I'll pre-bake it, and then when we come back on Thursday, we'll have the layout and everything, and then we'll have the posing and everything, posing each shot, and then we'll animate as many as we need to. I think that's about it. Okay. If you're still watching, thank you. Another little detour with the reanimated thing was a little fun. Thanks for suggesting that, and I think that's about it. So thanks guys for watching.